The grand chamber floated in space above the planet Primaxis. Inside, thousands of alien beings gathered. Some had scales, others had fur, and some glowed with strange light. They came from every corner of the galaxy. Today, they would decide the fate of Earth's request to join them. Tejo stood at the center platform. He wore a simple black suit, looking small compared to the massive aliens around him. Next to him, Heywan carried a data tablet with all of humanity's achievements. They had prepared for this moment for 5 years. Honored council members, Tejo began, his voice steady. Earth requests full membership in the Galactic Council. We have proven ourselves worthy. A ripple of sound moved through the chamber. Some aliens clicked their mandibles. Others made deep, rumbling sounds. Tejo knew they were laughing. Council Prime Velthar rose from his throne. He was tall, with silver skin and 4 arms. His species had ruled the galaxy for 10,000 years. Worthy, he said, his voice dripping with contempt. You have traveled between stars for only 50 years. My people built starships before your species learned to make fire. Heywan stepped forward. We have unified our entire planet under one peaceful government. We have eliminated major diseases. We have colonized 3 star systems. We offer the Council our knowledge and friendship. Ambassador Krell slammed his massive claw on his desk. The Draxian was covered in armor-like scales, and his red eyes burned with anger. You offer us nothing. Your species fights endless wars. You destroy your own planet with pollution. You are violent primates who learn to push buttons and pull levers. Nothing more. Tejo felt his jaw tighten, but he kept his voice calm. We do not deny our past. Yes, we fought wars. Yes, we made mistakes. But we learned. We grew. We changed. Is that not the mark of a worthy species? Another council member spoke. This one looked like a floating jellyfish made of blue light. Your planet still has weapons capable of destroying all life. Why do you keep such horrible things? We keep them as a reminder, Heywan answered. A reminder of what we must never do again. They are locked away, never to be used. Velthar laughed, a sound like breaking glass. How noble. How touching. But the answer is no. He looked around the chamber. The Galactic Council has observed Earth for 300 years. We watched you kill each other over land, over resources, over ideas. We watched you nearly destroy your world twice with atomic weapons. You are too dangerous, too unstable, too young. Tejo stepped forward. We came here in peace, hoping for partnership. We asked only to be treated as equals. Equals? Krell roared. You will never be our equals. My people crossed the galaxy, while yours lived in caves. You should bow down and thank us for even speaking to you. The chamber filled with sounds of agreement. Hundreds of alien voices joined together, all saying the same thing. Humans were not welcome. Velthar raised one of his 4 hands. The noise stopped instantly. The Galactic Council votes on Earth's petition. He pressed a button. A holographic display appeared, showing the vote count. Red lights filled the screen. Only 3 green lights appeared. The decision is final, Velthar declared. Earth is denied full membership. Furthermore, humanity is restricted to its current 3-star systems. You may not expand beyond them. You may not establish new colonies. You may not enter council space without permission. Any violation will be considered an act of war against the entire Galactic Council. Heywan's face went pale. You are trapping us in a cage. We are protecting the galaxy, Velthar said coldly. From you. Tejo looked at Heywan. She nodded slightly. They had prepared for this possibility too. Tejo turned back to face the council. We came here offering friendship. We hoped you would see us as fellow travelers among the stars. But you see only what you want to see. He paused, letting his words sink in. Remember this moment. Remember that humanity came to you in peace. Remember that we asked only for the right to grow, to explore, to exist freely. And remember that you refused us. Is that a threat? Krell growled, rising from his seat. No. Tejo said quietly. It is a fact. History will record what happened here today. And history will judge us all. Velthar waved his hand dismissively. You are dismissed. Return to your little corner of space, and be grateful we allow you even that. Tejo and Hei-Wan walked out of the chamber. Neither spoke until they reached their ship. The vessel was small compared to the massive council ships docked nearby. Its name was painted on the side. UES Horizon. Inside, the crew waited anxiously. Captain Yuna stood as they entered. How did it go? Hei-Wan shook her head. They rejected us. Worse, they restricted us to our current systems. Yuna's expression hardened. So they want to keep us locked in a box. They think we are too dangerous, Tejo said. He sat down heavily. They think we are too violent, too primitive, too young. What do we do now? Asked Dong Ha, the tactical officer. Tejo was quiet for a long moment. Through the window, he could see the Council's enforcement fleet. Massive warships patrolled the space around Primaxis. Each one was 3 times the size of the horizon. There were hundreds of them. We go home, Tejo finally said. And we prepare. Prepare for what? Yuna asked, though her tone suggested she already knew the answer. Tejo pulled out his communicator. He typed a coded message to Earth Command. The message was simple. They have made their position clear. Recommend we proceed with Protocol Olympus. 2. Protocol Olympus. The name meant something to everyone on the ship. It was Earth's contingency plan. The plan they hoped they would never need. They think they know us, Tejo said softly. They looked at our history and saw only violence. They did not see our determination. They did not see our ability to survive against impossible odds. They did not see that every challenge we faced made us stronger. He stood and looked out at the massive council fleet. They have the numbers. They have the technology. They have thousands of years of experience. He turned to face his crew, but they have forgotten something important. They have forgotten what it means to fight for survival. They have lived in peace for so long that they have forgotten how to truly struggle. Hei-Wan placed her hand on his shoulder. And we never had that luxury. No, Tejo agreed. We did not. Earth has been testing us since we first stood upright. Disease, predators, ice ages, droughts, floods. We survived them all. Then we tested ourselves. Wars, weapons, hatred, division. We survived those too. We learned. We adapted. We became stronger. The horizon began to move away from the council station. As they left, Tejo watched the station shrink in the distance. They wanted to see us as violent primitives, he said. So that is what they will get. But they will learn too late that there is a difference between those who fight because they enjoy it, and those who fight because they have no other choice. The first kind can be scared. The second kind cannot. Captain Yuna set the course for Earth. The journey would take 3 weeks. 3 weeks to prepare for what was coming. As the horizon jumped to faster than light speed, Tejo made one more transmission. This one went to every human ship, every human colony, every human station in space. The message was simple. Come home, all of you. Come home now. The galaxy had made its choice. Now, humanity would make theirs. 6 months had passed since the Council rejected Earth. Captain Yuna commanded the survey ship UES Indomitable near the edge of human space. Her mission was simple. Find new worlds that might support human life. The ship was not large, but it was fast. 200 people called it home. Scientists studied strange rocks and gases. Engineers kept the engines running. Marines kept everyone safe. And Yuna kept them all together. "Captain," Mi-sun called from her station. "I am reading something unusual in the next system." Yuna walked over to the science station. "What do you see?" Mi-sun pointed at her screen. "The Council's charts say this system is dead. No planets, just rocks and ice. But my scans show something different. There is a planet. A big one. And it has an atmosphere. Can we breathe it?" Yuna asked. Mi-sun typed quickly, checking the data. Her eyes widened. "Yes, it is almost identical to Earth. Oxygen, nitrogen, water vapor. Captain, this world could be perfect for us." Yuna felt excitement rise in her chest. "Set a course. Let us take a closer look." The Indomitable moved into the system. As they got closer, the planet appeared on the main screen. It was beautiful. Blue oceans covered most of the surface. Green and brown land masses dotted the water. White clouds swirled in the atmosphere. "It is a garden world," breathed Dong-ha from the tactical station. "Just like Earth." "Begin detailed scans," Yuna ordered. "I want to know everything about this place." For 3 days, the crew studied the planet. They found forests and rivers. They found mountains and valleys. They found thousands of species of plants and animals. But they found no intelligent life. No cities. No technology. No civilization. "It is unclaimed," Mi-sun reported. "And it is beyond the Council's restricted zone. According to their own laws, we can establish a colony here." Yuna smiled. "Then that is what we will do. Prepare a full report for Earth Command. This will be humanity's 4th colony." But before they could finish their report, alarms began to sound. "Multiple ships dropping out of hyperspace," Dong-ha shouted. 15 contacts. No, 20. They are Draxian battle cruisers." Yuna jumped into her command chair. "Battle stations! All hands, this is not a drill." The Draxian ships surrounded the Indomitable. Each one was 4 times larger than the human vessel. Their weapons ports glowed red. Ready to fire. A face appeared on the main screen. It was Admiral Kress, the same Draxian who had called humans primitive at the council meeting. His scales looked darker, meaner, in the harsh light of his bridge. "Human vessel," Kress growled. "You are in violation of council space. Surrender your ship immediately." Yuna kept her voice steady. "Admiral Kress, we are not in council space. This system is in unclaimed territory. Our navigation logs prove it. We have broken no laws." Kress showed his teeth. The gesture looked like a smile. But it was not friendly. "All suitable worlds belong to the Council. It does not matter what your maps say. You will surrender, or you will be destroyed." Yuna looked at Dong-ha. He shook his head slightly. The tactical officer's message was clear. They could not fight 20 battle cruisers and win. "We will not surrender our ship," Yuna said firmly. "We are in legal territory, conducting legal operations. You have no authority here." "I have all the authority I need," Kress snarled. "This is your last warning. Power down your weapons and prepare to be boarded." Yuna turned to her helmsman. "Plot an emergency jump to New Busan. Maximum speed." "They are charging weapons," Dong-ha warned. "Do it now," Yuna commanded. The Indomitable's engines roared to life. But before they could jump to hyperspace, the Draxian ships opened fire. Energy beams tore through the hull. Explosions ripped through 3 decks. Alarms screamed throughout the ship. "Hull breach on decks 4 and 5, someone shouted. "Life support failing in sections 7 through 12. "Jump now!" Yuna screamed. The universe twisted. Reality bent. The Indomitable vanished from the system, leaving the Draxian fleet behind. But the damage was done. In the engineering bay, fires burned. In the medical bay, doctors worked frantically. In the corridors, bodies lay still. "Casualty report," Yuna asked quietly. The ship's doctor appeared on her screen. His face was covered in soot and blood. 30 dead, Captain. Another 40 injured. Some of them will not make it. Yuna closed her eyes. 30 of her crew. 30 people she had eaten meals with, laughed with, worked with. Gone. Can we make it to New Busan? She asked the engineer. Barely, came the reply. But we need to get there soon. Life support is failing. The Indomitable limped through space. It took 6 hours to reach the human colony. By the time they arrived, 32 people were dead. 50 more were injured. On the council station, Envoy Salis watched the incident report with horror. She was an Etherian, a species known for peace and wisdom. Her people believed in fairness and justice. This is wrong, she said to the other council members. The humans were in unclaimed space. Kress had no right to attack them, but Council Prime Velthar dismissed her concerns. Admiral Kress acted to protect council interests. The humans were trespassing. They were not trespassing, Salis argued. Our own charts confirm the system is beyond the restricted zone. Then the charts are wrong, Velthar said coldly. The Council supports Admiral Kress's actions. Earth will pay reparations for this incident. Salis could not believe what she was hearing. Reparations? They are the victims. 32 humans are dead, and they would still be alive if the humans had stayed in their assigned space, Velthar replied. This discussion is over. Salis left the chamber feeling sick. The council was wrong. They were so wrong. But no one would listen. On Earth, the World Council gathered in emergency session. The leaders of every nation on the planet sat together in the Great Hall. Above them, screens showed images of the Indomitable, burned corridors, destroyed compartments, and the names of the dead scrolling endlessly. President Sokjin stood at the podium. He was an old man, with gray hair and tired eyes, but his voice was strong. For 50 years, he began, we have tried peace. We went to the council with open hearts. We offered friendship. We offered cooperation. We asked only to be treated with respect. He paused, letting his words echo through the chamber. They rejected us. They restricted us. They trapped us in a cage of their making. And now they have attacked us. 32 of our people are dead. Not soldiers, not warriors, scientists, engineers, explorers, people who only wanted to find a new home for humanity. The chamber was completely silent. The council demands we pay them for the privilege of being attacked. They demand we apologize for being victims. They demand we accept our place as inferior beings. Seok-jin's voice grew harder. I say no. No more apologies. No more bowing. No more accepting chains. He pressed a button. The screens changed. Now they showed images of ships. Hundreds of ships. Thousands of ships. Ships humanity had been building in secret for decades. We hoped we would never need these, Seok-jin said. We hoped peace would prevail. But hope is not a strategy. We prepared for the worst. And the worst has come. He looked around the chamber, meeting the eyes of every leader present. I am activating the reserve fleets. I am recalling all humans from council space. I am declaring a state of emergency. And I am sending the council a message they will never forget. Seok-jin pressed another button. A transmission began broadcasting to the entire galaxy. To the Galactic Council, his voice rang out. You wanted to see what humanity becomes when cornered. You wanted to test our resolve. You attacked us without cause, without mercy, without honor. Now you will learn why we survived 10,000 years of warfare on a single planet. Now you will learn what happens when you push too far. We came in peace. You answered with violence. So be it. Earth has spoken. Now, the stars will listen. In the council chamber on Primaxis, Velthar watched the transmission with contempt. Empty threats. From primitives. Send them A bill for the reparations. But Envoy Salis watched with growing dread. She saw something in Seokjin's eyes, something the other council members missed. It was not anger. It was not hate. It was certainty. Humanity knew something the council did not. And soon, the entire galaxy would learn what that was. The council chamber fell silent when Earth's response arrived. A young aide brought the message to Council Prime Veltar. It was short. Just 2 words in every council language. We decline. Velthar crushed the datapad in his hands. Decline? They decline? These primitives dare to refuse the Galactic Council? Grand Marshal Thex stood from his seat. He was old, even by the standards of his long-lived species. He had commanded council forces for 300 years. In all that time, no one had ever refused the council. They need to be taught a lesson, Thex said. A hard lesson. Velthar nodded. Assemble a fleet. 200 ships. Show these humans what happens when they defy us. 200 ships? Asked Councillor Fen, a merchant from the Quillith species. Is that not excessive? The humans only have a few dozen vessels. Exactly, Velthar said with satisfaction. They will surrender the moment they see our armada. This will be over in days. But what the Council did not know was that humanity had been preparing for this moment since they first met alien life. It happened 150 years ago, when a Council probe visited Earth's solar system. The probe was only observing, but its presence changed everything. Director Sora ran Earth's intelligence service. Her organization had spent decades studying the Council. They knew the location of every military base. They knew the strength of every fleet. They knew the Council's tactics, strategies, and weaknesses. They are assembling a fleet at Talaxis Prime, Sora reported to the War Council. 200 capital ships. They will move on our territory within the week. Admiral Hyun-sik studied the tactical display. He was younger than most admirals, only 50 years old. But he had never lost a battle in his life. 200 ships, he mused. They think that will be enough. Is it not? Asked one of the generals. Hyun-sik smiled. It was not a happy smile. They think in terms of size. Bigger ships, bigger guns, bigger numbers. But size is not everything. He pressed a button. The display changed. Now it showed human space. But there were new markers appearing. Dozens of them. Hundreds of them. What am I looking at? The general asked. The truth, Hyun-sik replied. For 40 years, we have been building hidden shipyards in asteroid fields, construction facilities inside dead moons, assembly plants in the dark spaces between stars. The Council thought we had 50 warships. They were wrong. 1. The display showed the real number. 537 combat vessels. Each one, smaller than Council ships, but faster, more agile, more heavily armed for their size. We learned from our own history, Hyun-sik continued. On Earth, the biggest army did not always win. The smartest army did. The fastest army. The most determined army. We have studied warfare for 10,000 years. The Council has had peace for millennia. They have forgotten what we never could. He turned to face the War Council. Activate Protocol Olympus. Bring all fleets to full readiness. And prepare the surprises. In space, invisible to Council sensors, Commander Yunji piloted the Shadow's Edge. The ship was small, no bigger than a shuttle. But it had technology the Council did not know existed. Stealth systems that bent light around the hull. Engines that produced no heat signature. It was a ghost ship. Yunji guided her vessel through the Talaxis Prime shipyard. Massive Council vessels floated in construction berths. Dozens of ships being built or repaired. The facility was huge, spanning hundreds of kilometers. Planting the bugs now, her co-pilot whispered, though no one could hear them. Small devices, each the size of a coin, attached themselves to the station's systems. They would record everything. Communications, fleet movements, Tactical plans. All of it would be sent back to Director Sora. Package delivered, Eunji reported. Heading home. The Shadow's edge slipped away undetected. The Council had no idea humanity had just walked through their most secure facility. Grand Marshal Thex's fleet assembled at Talaxis Prime. 200 ships, gleaming in the light of the local star. Each one was a masterpiece of Council engineering. Some were 500 years old but still perfectly maintained. "We will jump to the human colony of New Sol," Thex announced to his fleet commanders. "It is lightly defended. We will overwhelm them, force their surrender, and this foolish war will end." What Thex did not know was that Admiral Hyunsik was reading his battle plans as he made them. Sora's bugs transmitted everything. "He thinks New Sol is lightly defended," Hyunsik said to his officers. "Let us show him how wrong he is." When Thex's fleet arrived at New Sol, they expected to find a small defense force. Perhaps 10 ships. Maybe 20, at most. Instead, they found Admiral Hyunsik's first fleet waiting for them. 100 warships in perfect formation. Behind them, defense platforms bristled with weapons. Fighter craft swarmed in the space between. "Impossible," Thex breathed. "Where did they get so many ships?" "Admiral," his tactical officer said urgently. "Their weapons are locking onto us. We outnumber them 2 to 1. Thex said. "All ships. Attack formation. Show these primitives the power of the Council." The Battle of New Sol began. The Council fleet moved forward in their traditional formation. Large ships in front, smaller vessels supporting them. It was a tactic that had worked for 1,000 years. But Hyunsik did not fight traditionally. His ships scattered, moving in patterns that seemed chaotic. Council commanders tried to target them, but the human vessels were too fast. They darted in, fired, and darted away before return fire could reach them. "They fight like insects," Thex snarled. "No honor, no discipline. They fight like they want to win," his tactical officer corrected quietly. Human ships attacked in groups of 5 or 6. They did not try to destroy Council vessels. Instead, they targeted specific systems, engines, weapons, sensors. A Council ship with no engines could not chase. A ship with no weapons could not fight. A ship with no sensors was blind. Hyunsik watched the battle from his flagship, the Retribution. They are used to enemies who fight like them. Large fleets meeting in open battle, trading shots until one side breaks. We will not give them that fight. His tactical officer highlighted 3 Council ships. Those are their command vessels. If we take them out, the fleet loses coordination. Then that is what we do, Hyunsik decided. All wings, focus fire on the command ships. Maximum aggression. 20 human destroyers broke from the main battle. They moved so fast the Council sensors barely tracked them. Before the escort ships could react, the destroyers were among the command vessels. Thex's own ship shook from impacts. "Shields at 60%. Someone shouted. 50%. 40. "All ships. Protect the command vessels," Thex ordered. But his fleet was scattered across thousands of kilometers. It would take time for them to regroup, time they did not have. One Council command ship exploded. Its reactor breached. Another lost all power and began drifting. Thex's own vessel took a direct hit to the bridge. Half his command staff died instantly. "Retreat," Thex ordered through the pain. Blood ran down his face from a cut above his eye. "All ships, emergency jump. Get out of here." The Council fleet vanished into hyperspace. They left behind 40 destroyed ships and dozens more too damaged to jump. The humans had lost 3 destroyers and 11 smaller vessels. In the Council chamber, Velthar watched the battle recording in stunned silence. Councillor Fenn sat with his head in his hands. Envoy Salas felt no satisfaction in being right, only sadness. "How?" Velthar whispered. "How did primitives defeat our fleet?" An analyst appeared on the screen. She looked frightened. Excellency, we have been studying human history. The data is clear. For their entire existence, they have been at war. With nature, with predators, with each other. They have spent 10,000 years learning how to fight, how to survive, how to win against superior odds. She pulled up more data. They invented tactics we never considered. Guerrilla warfare, asymmetric combat, psychological operations. They learned to fight dirty because fighting clean meant death. But we have superior technology, Velthar protested. They have superior experience, the analyst replied. And they have been preparing for this war since they first knew we existed. While we believed peace was eternal, they remembered that peace must be defended. On Earth, President Sok-Jin addressed the planet. Today, humanity proved something the Council forgot. Size does not equal strength. Age does not equal wisdom. We are young, we are small, but we are survivors. And survivors do not quit. He paused, letting the words sink in. This was only the first battle. The Council will come again. They will come with more ships, more weapons, more determination, and we will be ready. Because that is what humans do. We adapt. We endure. We overcome. In his private quarters, Admiral Hyun-sik looked at the casualty reports. 87 humans dead, 200 wounded. Each name was a person. Someone's child, parent, friend. Was it worth it? Asked his aide. Hyun-sik was quiet for a long time. Ask me when this is over. Ask me when we can live free among the stars without fear. Ask me when humanity can explore the galaxy in peace. End. He closed the report. Until then, we do what we must. 3 months had passed since the Battle of New Sol. The war spread across 20 star systems. Humanity was outnumbered 10-1. But they refused to surrender. The Council grew frustrated and angry. They should have broken by now, Council Prime Velthar said during a war meeting. No species has ever resisted us this long. Grand Marshal Thex, still recovering from his wounds, spoke carefully. They are not like other species. They do not break. They do not quit. Every battle costs us more than it costs them. Then we will strike where they cannot defend, Velthar decided. Attack their colonies. Threaten their civilians. They will negotiate when their people are in danger. Envoy Salas stood up. That violates every law we have. We do not wage war on civilians. We'll wage war. We do what we must, Velthar said coldly. They left us no choice. General Vex led the Draxian ground forces to the agricultural colony of New Jeju. The planet was peaceful, covered in farms and small towns. 3 million humans lived there, growing food for other colonies. Vex's ships landed without warning. His soldiers, massive and armored, swept through the towns. They took thousands of civilians hostage. Tell Earth's government, Vex announced in a broadcast. Surrender, or their people die. On Earth, President Seok-jin watched the broadcast with the War Council. His hands shook with rage. They think this will make us weak. They think we will beg. What do we do? Asked a general. We cannot let civilians die. No, Seok-jin agreed. We cannot. But we also cannot surrender. He turned to a woman standing in the shadows. Commander Ji-woo, your time has come. Ji-woo stepped forward. She was small, quiet, easy to overlook. But she commanded Earth's most secret weapon, the psionic division. Humans with rare mental abilities. Telepathy, telekinesis, mind reading. How many operatives can you deploy? Seok-jin asked. 15 are already on New Jeju, Ji-woo replied. They have been there since the colony was founded. Just in case. Just in case, Seok-jin repeated. Get them to work, and send Jae-sung's Marines. We are taking our colony back. On New Jeju, Ji-woo's operatives moved among the Draxian forces. They looked like civilians, scared and helpless. But they were neither. One operative touched a Draxian soldier's mind, filling it with confusion. The soldier turned and fired on his own squad. Another operative planted false orders in a commander's thoughts. Draxian troops began moving to the wrong positions, expecting attacks that never came. General Vex felt his control slipping. What is happening? Why are my soldiers acting crazy? He never got an answer. Jae-sung's Marines dropped from orbit in stealth pods. They hit the ground running, weapons ready. The Marines were Earth's best, each one trained for years in every form of combat. Remember, Jae-sung told his troops over the radio. They came to our home. They threatened our families. Show them what that costs. The Battle of New Jeju was brutal. Marines fought building by building, street by street. Draxian soldiers were larger and stronger, but the humans were faster and smarter. More importantly, the humans were defending their home. Ji-woo's operatives continued their work. Draxian officers received conflicting orders. Soldiers saw enemies that were not there. Entire units panicked and retreated from empty streets. General Vex tried to rally his forces, but it was hopeless. In 3 days, his entire army was destroyed. Not captured. Not defeated. Destroyed. Every soldier who came to New Jeju died there. The council watched in horror. This level of violence was unthinkable. Species did not fight like this. Not for centuries. They are monsters, someone whispered in the council chamber. No, Envoy Salas said quietly. They are cornered animals, and we put them in that corner. After New Jeju, no council species attempted another ground invasion. The message was clear. Never fight humans on their own worlds. But the war in space continued. Admiral Hyun-sik knew the council would eventually overwhelm humanity through sheer numbers. They needed to damage the council's ability to build new ships. The shipyard at Talaxis Prime, Hyun-sik said to his officers. It produces 30% of all council vessels. If we destroy it, we buy ourselves time. It is the most heavily defended facility in the galaxy, an officer protested. 200 defense platforms. A permanent fleet of 60 ships. It is impossible. Under Janexing, impossible is just another word for difficult, Hyun-sik replied. He called in Captain Sang-woo. I need you to do something insane. Sang-woo commanded the Fury of Terra, humanity's largest warship. It was a monster, carrying enough weapons to destroy a small moon. How insane? Sang-woo asked. Jump into a star and come out shooting, Hyun-sik said. Sang-woo blinked. That would kill us. No, it would hide you. The star's energy will mask your approach. You will have 30 seconds before your shields fail. Use those seconds to get close to the shipyard. 30 seconds, Sang-woo repeated. And if we are 1 second late, then the Fury becomes part of the star, Hyun-sik admitted. But if you succeed, you cripple the council's ability to replace their losses. Sang-woo looked at his crew. They looked back. No one spoke, but the message was clear. They would do it. The Fury of Terra jumped into Talaxis system. But not near the shipyard. They emerged inside the system's sun. The shields immediately began failing. Heat flooded the ship. Alarms screamed. 30 seconds, Sang-woo said calmly. Make them count. The Fury rocketed out of the sun's corona like a bullet from a gun. The council defenders never saw them coming. By the time sensors detected the human ship, it was too late. The Fury fired everything. Missiles, energy beams, railgun slugs. 20 destroyers followed, adding their weapons to the barrage. Talaxis Prime shipyard exploded. In a chain reaction, 60 partially built warships died before they could fly. Get us out of here, Sang-woo ordered as council ships finally responded. Return fire tore into the Fury. Half the destroyers were destroyed, covering the retreat. The Fury made it home, barely. The ship was a wreck, but the mission succeeded. The council's ability to build new ships was cut by a third. Councillor Miras watched the destruction with growing despair. She contacted Envoy Salas secretly. This has to stop. Both sides are destroying each other. The Council started this, Salas reminded her. We rejected their petition. We restricted them. We attacked them. And now we are paying the price, Mira said. We have lost thousands of soldiers, hundreds of ships, trillions in resources. All because we refuse to treat them as equals. Velthar will never negotiate, Salas said. His pride will not allow it. Then we remove Velthar, Mira said quietly. But Velthar was not done. In a secret meeting, he authorized something forbidden for 2,000 years. Planet killer weapons. If we cannot defeat them conventionally, Velthar said, we will destroy their worlds, starting with Earth itself. The order went to a special weapons facility hidden in deep space. Ancient weapons, stored and maintained, but never used. Now they would wake from their long sleep. Director So-Ra's agents intercepted the communication. She immediately contacted Admiral Hyun-Sik. They are going to use planet killers, she said, her voice shaking. Against Earth. Hyun-Sik felt ice in his veins. When? The weapon is being loaded onto a ship now. Estimated arrival at Earth. 6 days. 6 days. Not enough time to evacuate 8 billion people. Not enough time to build defenses. Strong enough to stop a planet killer. Then we use the Prometheus Protocol, Hyun-Sik said. Are you sure? So-Ra asked. Once we activate those weapons, there is no going back. They left us no choice, Hyun-Sik said. If they want to threaten genocide, we will show them that humanity mastered that particular horror long ago. Across human space, hidden weapons platforms came online. Each one carried a single weapon. A planet killer of Earth's own design. They had been built during the Cold Wars of the 20th century, updated and improved over the decades. Now, they targeted 50 Council worlds. The message was clear. If Earth died, the Council would burn with it. President Seok-Jin made a broadcast to the entire galaxy. The Galactic Council has chosen to threaten genocide. They believe we will surrender, rather than face extinction. They are wrong. 10. He displayed targeting data for every Council world in the weapons sites. We are willing to die for our freedom. The question is, are you willing to watch your civilization collapse for your pride? If Earth falls, 50 Council worlds burn with us. This is not a bluff. This is a promise. Stand down, or we all die together. In the Council chamber, silence reigned. Every species saw their homeworld on the targeting list. Trillions of lives hung in the balance. They are insane, someone whispered. No, Counselor Miras said, standing. They are survivors, and they will not go quietly into the dark. The galaxy held its breath. Earth's message echoed across every world, every station, every ship. 50 Council worlds would die if Earth fell. Trillions of lives balanced on the edge of a knife. Council Prime, Velthar stared at the targeting data. His own homeworld was on the list. His family lived there. Everyone he had ever known. They would not dare, he said, but his voice shook. Would they not? Asked Counselor Miras. She had gathered the peace faction. And now they surrounded Velthar. They came to us in peace. We rejected them. They tried to coexist. We attacked them. They defended themselves. We threatened genocide. What did you expect them to do? Stand down from this madness, Velthar demanded. Order the fleet to continue to Earth. The humans will blink first. Will they? Envoy Salas pulled up human history files. Look at their past. They have nearly destroyed themselves 3 times with weapons like these. But each time, they stopped. Not because they were weak. Because they understood the horror better than anyone. They invented the phrase, mutually assured destruction. It kept their world from burning for 100 years. She turned to face the entire council. They are not bluffing. They will die before they surrender. And they will take us With them, Councillor Fenn stood. The merchant had been quiet through most of the war, but now he spoke. This war has cost us 20,000 lives and 300 ships. Our economy is collapsing. Trade has stopped. And for what? To keep one species from exploring the galaxy? Other council members began standing. Species from across the galaxy, tired of war, tired of death, tired of Velthar's pride. I call for a vote of no confidence, Miras announced. Council Prime Velthar has led us to the edge of destruction. It is time for new leadership. Velthar looked around the chamber. Most of the council stood against him. Even his own species had doubts. You cannot remove me. I am Council Prime. You were Council Prime. Miras corrected. Now you are just another member. Guards, escort him from the chamber. The vote was swift. Velthar was removed from power. A temporary council took his place, led by Miras and Salis. Their first order: cease all military operations against humanity, but not everyone obeyed. Admiral Kress commanded the fleet carrying the planet-killer weapon. He received the stand-down order and deleted it. Humans killed my son at New Sol, Kress growled to his crew. I will see their world burn. Council orders or not. His fleet continued toward Earth, 3 days away, then 2, then 1. Admiral Hyunsik's second fleet intercepted them at the edge of the Sol system, near the rings of Saturn. Hyunsik had 70 ships. Kress had 150. But Hyunsik also had desperation. All ships. Hyunsik broadcast. That fleet carries a weapon that will kill everyone we have ever loved. Every person on Earth. 8 billion souls. We stop them here, or we die trying. There is no retreat. There is no surrender. We fight until they break, or we do. The Battle of Saturn's Rings was the most brutal of the entire war. Human ships threw themselves at the Council fleet with suicidal fury. They were not trying to win. They were trying to stop one ship, the one carrying the planet killer. Captain Yuna commanded the rebuilt Indomitable. She had survived the attack months ago. Now, she piloted her ship toward Kress's flagship. Captain, we cannot win a direct engagement, her tactical officer warned. We do not need to win, Yuna replied. We just need to stop that weapon. She opened a channel to her crew. All hands, abandon ship. Life pods away. Now. Captain, what are you doing? Someone asked. What needs to be done? Yuna said quietly. It has been an honor serving with you all. The crew evacuated in life pods. Within minutes, only Yuna remained on the Indomitable. She set the engines to full power and aimed directly at Kress's flagship. Kress saw the human ship approaching. Shoot it down, he ordered. Energy beams tore into the Indomitable. The ship was dying, falling apart. But Yuna kept it flying through sheer willpower. Through the shields, through the defensive fire, through the pain as her ship burned around her. The Indomitable struck Kress's flagship directly at the weapon bay. Both ships exploded in a ball of fire that lit up the solar system. The planet killer was destroyed. Kress was dead. And Captain Yuna was gone. The Council fleet, seeing their commander killed and their weapon destroyed, surrendered. The war's final battle was over. On Earth, President Seokjin stood at a window, watching the orbital defense platforms power down. The crisis had passed. Earth would survive. The Council is requesting peace talks, an aide informed him. They agree to all our terms. All of them? Seokjin asked. Yes, sir. Full recognition of our territory. Full Council membership with equal rights. Reparations for all damages. Demilitarization of the border zones. Everything we asked for. We have granted these sea. Seokjin felt no joy. Only exhaustion. Schedule the talks. But first, I need to visit the memorial. The memorial wall stood in the center of the capital city. On it were carved 80,000 names. Every human who died in the war. Soldiers, civilians, scientists, explorers, children. Seok Jin placed his hand on the cold stone. You did not die conquering the stars, he whispered. You died defending our right to reach them freely. I hope that was worth the price. 6 months later, the Galactic Council reconvened. The chamber looked different now. The throne where Council Prime once sat was gone. In its place were seats for a ruling council of equals, and one of those seats was occupied by Taeho. Councillor Miras opened the session. We gather today to remember and to learn. For 3,000 years, the council has kept peace. But we kept it through arrogance. We believed our way was the only way. Our age made us wise, we thought. Our technology made us superior. She paused. Humanity taught us we were wrong. They came to us in peace, and we rejected them. They offered friendship, and we responded with contempt. When they defended themselves, we called them violent. When they fought back, we called them monsters. But the truth is simpler. They are survivors. And survivors do not quit. Envoy Salas stood. We lost 20,000 soldiers in this war. Humanity lost 80,000. We lost 300 ships. They lost 100. But they never surrendered. They never bowed. They never accepted chains. They proved that numbers do not guarantee victory. That age does not guarantee wisdom. That peace maintained through force is not true peace. Taeho stood to speak for the first time as a full council member. The chamber fell silent. We do not celebrate this war, he began. Every life lost, human or otherwise, represents a failure to communicate, a failure to understand, a failure to see each other as equals. He looked around the chamber. Humanity did not want to shake the stars. We wanted to walk among them as friends. You forced us to show our strength, and we did. We hope this lesson never needs repeating. Taeho's voice grew stronger. We are willing to be the galaxy's partner. We are willing to share all we know. We are willing to build a better future together. But understand this. Earth stood alone against the entire Galactic Council. We made you blink. Never again mistake our desire for peace as weakness. The chamber erupted in applause. Not everyone was happy. Some species still feared humanity, but all respected them now. On Earth, President Seok Jin visited the memorial one last time before stepping down. He was old now. Tired. The war had aged him beyond his years. We won, he said to the names on the wall. We are free. The galaxy knows our name now. They know what we can do. And they know that humanity will never accept chains. He touched the stone. I hope it was worth it. I hope your children and their children will live in a better galaxy because of your sacrifice. That is all any of us can hope for. Above Earth, ships from dozens of species patrolled together. Human and alien crews worked side by side, learning from each other, teaching each other, building trust through shared purpose. Commander Yoonji commanded the joint fleet. Her second in command was an Etherian named Theros. They watched the ships moving in formation. Your people fought well, Theros said. Better than we expected. We had no choice, Yoonji replied. But I hope we never have to fight like that again. Agreed, Theros said. War is too easy. Peace is harder. But it is worth the effort. A message arrived from deep space, a distant civilization, one that had never contacted the Council before. They had been watching the war. The message was simple. This is the Kelnar Collective. We have observed your conflict with interest. The species called humanity has proven something we thought lost to the galaxy. That strength and wisdom can coexist. That peace must sometimes be defended with force. That survival breeds capability. We wish to open diplomatic relations, not with the Council, with Earth. Taeho read the message and smiled. It begins, he said. What begins? asked He-1. Our real work, Teho replied. We fought for the right to exist freely among the stars. Now we must prove we deserve it. We must show the galaxy that humanity is more than warriors. We are also builders, thinkers, dreamers. We must become the species we told the Council we could be. On Earth, children played in parks, unaware of the battles fought for their freedom. Schools taught about the war, but also about the peace that followed. The message was clear. Strength without wisdom is destruction, but wisdom without strength is slavery. The galaxy had learned, humanity had arrived, and the stars would never be the same. A final transmission broadcast from Earth to the entire galaxy. President Sokjin's last act before retirement. This is Earth. Calling to all who can hear. We learned the hard way that respect must be earned. We earned ours through sacrifice and strength, but we hope others might learn from our path. We came in peace. We were met with scorn. We responded with fury. And now, we build a better tomorrow with those who once called us enemies. He paused. The stars are vast. There is room for all who seek them with honest hearts. This is our message. Humanity has arrived, and we are here to stay. We will defend our freedom. We will honor our fallen. And we will walk among the stars as equals, as we always should have. This is Earth, signing off. May we all find the peace we fought so hard to achieve. We will reason. The transmission ended, but the message would echo across the galaxy for generations to come. Humanity had shaken the stars, and the stars had shaken back. Now, together, they would build something better.